How's it going, everybody? RyeSquad here today, and we are back with our Philadelphia Flyers franchise mode in year number 2, heading into the offseason with an offseason that I think we are going to become a top team in this league. I think we've got a lot of flexibility ahead of us and some young players who are ready to make the jump. And here we go, guys. Unfortunately, we were unable to make it out of the second round of the playoffs for the second straight year. That's back-to-back years. But again, I just don't see us having that top talent that's going to propel us over some of these teams that are just so stacked, right? And we've got a moderately deep team, right? Having John, I don't know why he's on the center. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but you know, we got Jonathan Drouin for how many more years? We signed him this past offseason. I think he made a very positive impact. I'm pretty happy with it. 58 points in 82 games. In the playoffs, he had 11 points in 13 games played. So I think that's very successful. That signing. Joel Farabee is a guy, you know, I'd like to see a little bit more out of him, especially because he's got that high top 6 potential. Doesn't look like he's going to grow any more than he has. Owen Tippett was surprisingly good during the regular season, right? 37 points, 82 games, but he really did start to cool off towards the second half. And then he got 7 goals in 13 games, but I'd like to see him maybe make a pass or two one of these days. That would probably help his point total as well. But we do have some decent players ready to go. Bobby Brink, you know, is a player that was a very successful rookie. And I can't wait to see what he does going forward. Obviously, we still have Carter Hart and then Korchinski, Haltonen, Lehman, all guys that are coming up and ready to go next season. Haltonen might not be ready. I'm going to be honest. I don't think Haltonen is going to be ready. But Korchinski and Lehman should be ready. Even a guy like Isaac Ratcliffe. And we need that, right? We don't have a ton of cap space. So if we take a look at the main roster, taking a look at somebody, Bobby Brink needs an extension. Offer him an extension. I'm going to give him a 5-year deal. Ooh, I don't know if I like the idea of... I like the way he played, though. So I'm going to give him a 5-year deal, but I don't like the idea that we don't have... he's not asking for more money. That's generally not a positive sign. He does want an extension, but we'll give him 5 years at $3.5 million. I think he earned it this year. I think he's going to be a bright future ahead. Get him till he's 27. We can reassess then. So we'll offer him that contract. I do want to lock him up for long term because this is a guy that put up almost 20 goals in 80 games. Played a really good season for him. 31 points, a +6 on a team that really wasn't a good plus. Yeah, he did shoot 15.8%, but he's a sniper who's got a really good shot for being 22 and only an 80 overall. So I can't wait to see how he grows and develops. Hopefully he can be that second-line goal scorer as when Atkinson starts to decline. So we'll see about that, but we'll look at all expiring contracts. Forrester here, hopefully, could come up and make an impact. The two-way forward, drafted in 2020 in the first round. Looks average. He's pretty bad defensively. So for a two-way forward, he really doesn't have many redeeming qualities to him. We'll offer him an extension. We'll give him if he wants a 2 week, I'll give him 3 years. 3 years on a two-way deal sounds about perfect for me. Ratcliffe, I also want to get him in just in case. Okay, so we'll give him the 2-year, two-way deal. We'll see how he goes. But that's all the extending I think I'm going to do. We do have an exciting draft coming up for ourselves here. Projected picks. We have, you know, plenty of early picks. 2 firsts, a second, and a third. We don't really have late picks. No 4s, no 5s. We have a 6 and a 7, which is whatever. Maybe for the AHL team, but again, we've got the 14th pick and a 20th pick. Looks about 21st and 14. That looks about right there. Then in the second round, it's in the 40s. So that's like in the teens, low teens, I'd say, for the Vegas Golden Knights pick. And then the Arizona Coyotes, guys, we got 3 top 70 picks. That's crazy. That's really good. We can take a look at our forward depth chart. Our forwards are a weakness. Our defense, our prospects are a strength, right? Taking a look here, Korchinski obviously is going to come up. Edmondson's on his way out, so that's fine, right? We got an instant swap there. Hopefully, Cam York decides to develop. I'd love to see him grow a bit. I mean, he's got great underlying stats right now. It's just the physical category, so maybe I wouldn't get too upset by that. And obviously, we don't have a lot of minor league goalies or potential goalies, but we've got Carter Hart locked up for long term, so I'm pretty happy about that. But we do need forwards. We've got forward prospects. We just don't have anybody ready for the NHL to really propel us forward. And that's why guys like Haltonen need to develop. They need to be there for this franchise. We desperately need them. But we'll simulate to the draft now. Bobby Brink is going to sign the 5 years, $3.5 million contract. Ratcliffe with the extension. Same thing with Tyson Forster. So we're going to have those guys around for a long time. And the locker room loves Bobby Brink. I love Bobby Brink too. But the Seattle Kraken are going to win the Stanley Cup. So in their third year as a franchise, they're going to win the Stanley Cup, doing what Vegas could not. Taking a look at the lottery, Ottawa wins it, jumping from 2 to 1. Los Angeles going from 7 to 2, and Buffalo drops from 1 to 3. Other than that, we are picking 15th, so we did have a shot at the lottery. We're not going to win it. It was a long shot, right? Nobody else really moved. Really, Los Angeles from 7 to 2 was the best, and we couldn't have gotten up to 1 anyway. I think the most we could have moved is up to 5. I still would have appreciated that, but we're going to go ahead and view the draft class now, though. There's some pretty good players in here, like obviously at the top. And then there's a Berkeley Catton here, who's a fantastic 1 year away player with third eye. Right, he's projected to go at 8. We're picking 15th, though, which means we might be able to get ourselves a guy like Brindamore. We need to send somebody out to scout Dominic Salak. Without a doubt, yeah, because he's right in that area. We got the OHL, he's being scouted. We're getting the SHL scouted here. Is there anybody below them that, we got a couple busts. And then a potential low elite defensive defenseman, 3 years away from the NHL. That's okay, though. Alt Schuler. We'll see if we can find our Bill Lehman anywhere here. We got 3 years away, 3 years away. Leduc. Zane Leduc, no. Massey, 3 years away. Again, I'm trying to find that Bill Lehman. It just looks like, I don't know if we're going to be able to find one of those this year. There's Henry Muse, 4 years away. He's 3 years away as well. Medium starter, Alexander Korobov, who could be a guy that we end up drafting for the future, right? Maybe by the time Carter Hart starts to decline, he's ready. There's Vyacheslav Zhamanov. He's already 19, though, and he's not NHL ready. I wish I could sort by NHL readiness. Jaden Wanvig, yeah, I can't find any Bill Lehmans this year. As far as just a quick, scroll through here, this guy's potentially 2 years, 3 years. I don't see any NHL ready. We're starting to get Jacob Nicotine. We don't know anything about Sebastian Kreutzer, the German right-handed defenseman, projected to go 19th. So we definitely want to send somebody to the DEL and the Extra Liga, because here's Bedřich Vlasic as well as Manuel Walzer. So I kind of didn't focus on this part of Europe. I focused more on Sweden, and it might have come back to bite me, but 3 years away there. We need to scout Salak and Vlasic, Walzer and Kreutzer. And then we definitely want to keep our scout in the SHL. But 2 years away is Michael Niklaus. Potentially has some X-Factor abilities. Will Brindamore, yeah, all these guys 2-3 years away. So there's nobody that seems to be that Bill Lehman, as far as we can tell. Who knows? It might be one of these guys we haven't scouted. Johan Presterberg is definitely, they say he's a bust. Oscar Petterstrom, right? We want to stay in the SHL for that reason. 3 years, 3 years, 4 years, 4 years, 3 years. Yeah, so these are guys that are going to be part of the future, but we don't have anybody that's going to step in right away, which is why when we found a guy, actually, Jeremy Leroux could be pretty good. I really like the way he looks. We haven't scouted him enough, and he's in the QMJHL. I'm pretty sure I have 2 scouts going there. Definitely want to scout him, but stop the sim. Stop the sim. Please stop the sim. Let's view the retired players first, and then we'll stop the sim. Nick Foligno is going to retire. Valtteri Filppula, Brent Seabrook, Chris Russell, Matt Martin, Roman Polak, Clendenning, Soderberg, Jordy Ben, not Jamie Ben, Vladimir Sobotka, Komarov, Irwin. All right, and an average amount of players here. And then we'll take a look at any goalies that retired. It was Anton Hudobin was really the only notable guy that did retire. So some coaches retired. Please. And of course, you can't stop the sim at all. So we're going to go ahead and go to some of those guys that we know nothing about, like Salak here. We'll interview him, see how far away from the NHL he is. Play style. We know nothing about him. We got to ask some of these 3 guys. Readiness. How ready do you think you are? He says at least a few seasons, which is three seasons away. That's fine. He's a two-way forward. Oh, I hate that. I hate the fact that there's so many two-way forwards at the top of drafts just because you don't get good synergies with them, or not synergies, chemistry bonuses. And he's not a physical player, which I don't care about. I guess I should start asking about their strengths rather than their weaknesses. But he is a center. He's not very physical. Oh, we now know that he could be potentially medium bottom elite. All three of these guys are 3 years away, so it's really who do I want more? Maybe I take Matthew Virgilio. We know he's probably got an X factor. Dominic Salak, we know has probably got an X factor too. And then Jorgen Henriksen, I don't believe does. So we would probably assume that Matthew Virgilio here does. 5'9". How did they look? No points, some points. Okay, so Vlasic here put in a good amount of, with A+ competition, put up 15 points in 13 minutes a night. Did better than Manuel Valser did. I have no idea anything about either of those guys, so a bit disappointed there. And I'm surprised Johan Prestberg is, they're calling him a bust. I don't know, I wouldn't call that guy a bust. I don't want him with the 20th pick, but anyway, let's go ahead and talk to Vlasic here. Ask about his play style. We want to then make sure we ask about his NHL readiness. How ready are you for the NHL? To be honest, needs at least a few seasons. He's 3 years away. He's dedicated to that goal. Vlasic, his shot, he's a sniper. Okay. That would actually be not a pretty good pick. I would not mind getting a sniper at all. Get the strengths here. Oh, God, it just stopped scrolling. Has to be my shot, of course. So, a sniper with a good shot, I'll take it, unless that's just the canned, response because he's a sniper. His strength is shooting, right? We know he's 1-bar AHL top 6 forward, A+ shot. There it is. No strength, no weaknesses. 3 years away because we haven't scouted him. And then Valser or Kreutzer. Kreutzer's a defender. I kind of like the look of Kreutzer. We're going to talk about Kreutzer here as our third and final interview. Chat about your style of play. How NHL ready are you, Kreutzer? He is at least a few seasons, 3 years away. All right, what kind of defenseman are you, though? And he is a defensive defenseman. Okay, that's not bad. We needed some of those. Maybe I'd take Sebastian Kreutzer. I don't know. It's kind of tough to say that I would take Kreutzer simply because, and he's going to say his physicality, I assume. His skating. Wow, okay, a defensive defenseman with good skating. You never see that. That's crazy. Okay, so 3 years away for all these guys, and I wish I knew a little bit more. Virgilio here, he's 3 years away. He's a defenseman. We know he's potentially got some X factors. He'd probably be the pick right now, although, Jorgen Henriksen does not, I mean, he's still 3 years away, medium top 9. I don't know. Oh, it's so tough. He put up an average amount of points as a defenseman, though, playing a ton of minutes. What handedness is he? It says he's left-right shot. I can't see his handedness, of course. But he's got shoot balanced. I don't know if we like shoot or not, but elite edges, and he could be an X factor, like 3-bar X factor. That might be worth the pick in and of itself. So I think we're done with our draft interviews here. We are. Okay. So do we have any potentials later on in the a bunch of medium elites later on that we could potentially go for? Poxpoo? Potentially as an X factor, which would be insane. I would love to grab that. But Nikitin, 3 years away with potentially some X factors as well. Defensive defenseman who has probably low elite, probably our pick here with the 20-something pick. If I had to guess. Again, the weaknesses, I think that's glitched. I think he's got to have some weaknesses, but he looks okay. And as long as he's got some like medium top 4 potential, at least, I'd say that's a pretty good pick in the 20s there. Some of these guys later on, we'll see. We don't know exactly, but I think we might be drafting a lot of defensemen in this draft this year. And we'll go into it here and see what we can get. All right, let's start the draft. The Ottawa Senators are on the clock, and first things first, if I traded away the 24th pick, what would teams be willing to give me? I could get Killorn, Bunting in a 5th, a 2nd, a 3rd, and Zuccarello. Interesting. I would drop down a moderate amount of picks, but we get a 3rd next year, as well as Zuccarello, who's on the last year of his $6 million deal. That could be an interesting trade there. Would the Minnesota... I mean, he's $6 million, 1 year left. Does Zuccarello have a no-trade clause? Let's see. I'm going to go to cap friendly real quick. They want to give him away. He's a third line scorer at 83. Does he fit? He fits the top 6. He's got some X factors. He is a playmaker. How has he done? He put up 69 points in 82 games. Wow, he's pretty good. I wonder why Minnesota would want to make this deal. Let's take a look at the Minnesota Wild here on cap friendly. Kaprizov. I mean, maybe they need cap space to make a signing, right? They've only got $5 million left. Do they have anybody they need to extend? They need to extend Boldy. Boldy and Jost and Addison. Yeah, they might want to be extending those guys. What about goaltenders? Do they want to extend a goaltender? Wallsted's coming up. Gustafsson is here. Marc-Andre Fleury's contract has expired. They probably want the cap space. Not a bad trade. Not a bad trade at all, but Zuccarello does have a modified no trade clause, and I wonder if he would waive it. I don't think he would. But taking a look at our draft picks again, what if we gave it the 15th pick? There's nobody that I love at 15. We could get Killorn in a 4th, Bunting in 2/3. 2 seconds from the Senators. I don't really want to do it for 2 seconds. No, thank you. So we might just end up making these picks. We straight up might be making these picks, and since there's nobody I really want to move up for, we can sim to pick 15. Henriksen there. Kiviharu is a medium elite. Ooh, that would have been a nice one to grab right there with some X factors. Detroit, great pick there. Laxo, medium, okay. 8th overall, Vitali, medium elite 2-way forward. Catton, medium elite playmaker. Ben, not a great pick from the Arizona Coyotes. But Caswell there, ooh, not a great pick from the Ducks either. But Holmqvist, Ford, and then Popov. Wow, Igor Popov, a really, really good playmaker going to the Ottawa Senators. Did they have multiple picks at the top here? No, they didn't. I was just seeing things. I thought they had multiple picks, but here we go. We have Salek here, who's 3 years away, who potentially is a 2-way forward. Or there's Virgilio here, who potentially is a defenseman with X factors. There's the boss, there's Vlasic, Kreutzer. Maybe I wanted to talk to Walser, but he just didn't look as good with the -1 there in the stats. I understand it's juniors basically, but it's actually a professional league over there. Everybody's 3 years away. I would like Nikitin next. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take Virgilio here. He seems to be left-handed because he's listed as primary left-handed defenseman. I think I'm going to do it. All right, Matthew Virgilio, welcome to the Philadelphia Flyers as a medium top 4 with an X factor. He is a 2-way defender, looking pretty good with in reverse and send it. I like that a lot. Seems to be a pretty balanced defender. 77 defensive awareness, so he's a bit more on the defensive end. His passing, offensive awareness, stick checking. This is a guy that we'll let grow for a little while in the OHL, right? We don't need to worry about signing him. Hopefully he can grow into something in a year or two. But he's an average player. I'm not upset by that pick unless, we go a couple picks here and we missed out on somebody. Salek. Okay, so he was a 64 with no X factors. So I'm not going to be too upset by that. I'm not going to be upset by the fact that we passed on a medium top 6, right? They're basically the same, medium top 4 defenseman and medium top 6 forward. He's a 2-way forward, which we didn't need, and he doesn't have any X factors, which is not going to help our chemistry. Walser here, same thing, medium top 6. Okay, I'm feeling better about my picks. The Vegas Golden Knights, who are they going to take? They're going to take Vlasic, and okay, so they're the 4 players basically we were looking at. Vlasic, Walser, Salek, all pretty solid, and none of them had X factors, but Virgilio does, and that's going to be huge for us. I'm pretty pumped to get the guy with X factors just because of the chemistry. And now we will go ahead and jump to pick number 24. Tukio, Marquez. Glad we didn't get some of those guys. And okay, so Kreutzer. Kreutzer's the last guy there. 64, medium top 4. So really, I think we got the best of the bunch here in Virgilio. And now we're going to go ahead and probably pick Nikitin. Jacob Nikitin, defensive defenseman. Looks pretty solid. Cycle pinch, we know that for a fact. And we know he just might have some X factors, but we do need to get some decent players in the system here. I'm trying to figure out, like, maybe one of these guys, one of these snipers, Leonard Lowry or Dakota Lewis. I love that name, by the way. Jay Alschutzer might have an X factor as a playmaker. 5'9", pretty solid. Balance, shoot, balanced behind the net. That's pretty average. Zane Leduc. Does have third eye. So we know for a fact that Zane Leduc has third eye. Doesn't have any weaknesses. B, B, B minus, C, C, C. B, B, B minus, C minus, C, C. All Schultzer lacks character as well, so we don't want that. But we know these two Americans are playmakers. Our scouts ranking of everybody, they still say Nikitin is the guy to go for. And at low elite, he could be pretty good as a defensive defenseman. He might have some X factors. I'm going to take the risk because we kind of need to go big or go home. But we do need forward prospects. Zane Leduc could end up playing down in the AHL with Haltonen for a year. We know he's medium top 6. He's 3 years away. But dump, balance, block is enough for me to probably say no. And we're going to take Jacob Nikitin here. He is, in fact, low elite with some X factors. Back at you, yoink and truculence. A defensive defenseman with a pretty good defensive category. Low elite potential at 64 overall at 18. I am very happy we get some X factors there in the draft. And I'm satisfied with that. I cannot be upset about that. Here's Leonard Lowry, a power forward. That could have been nice, but 65, medium top 6, another solid pick. But the low elite is a great opportunity for us to get a steal here. Zane Leduc, 65 playmaker with third eye and tape to tape. Looks to be a really good playmaker. So the Toronto Maple Leafs get themselves something here. 6'2", 192, medium top 6. Could be a great player. But I'm not going to be upset about taking the low elite there. I think I would rather have that. Then there's Dakota Lewis, who is an X factor with yoink. But another two-way forward. Again, I want to stay away from those two-way forwards for us. And then there is McGinn. And all right, so we will go ahead and jump forward to the 50th overall pick. The first real face I've seen in a while. Zhamanov. Ooh, that would have been a nice one to grab. Do we have any goaltenders have gone yet? They do. Korobov goes, the 19-year-old goaltender, to the Wild. So Jesper Wallstedt's got some competition in the system, although I think he's ready to be playing right now. Everybody else looks to be average at best. Average at best other than those guys. Yeah, so really, I'm fine. I feel like we had a great first round. Felix Lacrate is 3 years away. Carry, cycle, balance, don't block. Looks pretty good, honestly. He's got 1 bar medium elite. I doubt he's actually that good. Wow, wait, is this for real? 3 bar, 2 year away. Mark Bodine, he's got 3 bars all over the place, potentially with quick pick. And he's got 2 bar low top 6, plays like Marian Gaborik. That's really enticing. Now, Maxime Laforde, I doubt he's got as many X factors as that. You can't get fooled by that. But damn, Beaudoin, if that is to be believed there with those, this could be our Bill Leeman. This could be our Bill Leeman if that is to be believed, that he is close, damn close to NHL ready. Wow, okay. And here's a goaltender, Emil Vin, with A-, B, maybe, could be insane. Oh my goodness, if he's got A- already at 18, this guy could be a stud. Oh man, I don't like not knowing much. And then here's a 2 bar medium elite defenseman, but again, just doesn't look to be all that phenomenal. And again, I can't trust the scouts. We know for a fact Lonther here, he's going to be average. He's a physical 2-way defenseman. No thanks. But the 3 bar A- on the reflexes is really getting me to consider Vinny here, the Finnish goaltender, at the start of the second. And the question is, do we go with Beaudoin, who looks really good and is 2 years away, potentially balance, shoot, balance with behind the net, potentially has quick pick. He is a 2-way forward. I said we don't want any of those. I'm going to go with the goalie. We need a goalie in the system. I'm going to go with Emil Vinny. Welcome to the Philadelphia Flyers, and he's a medium fringe starter, 65. That's a bad pick. And oh man, if somebody's gonna take, Beaudoin, please don't be insane, Beaudoin. I really don't want to screw this one up. Beaudoin, okay. Whew. All right, so not as bad as it could have been. I thought Beaudoin looked sick. He's apparently not. Vinny here, another guy in the system, a goaltender, 6'3" fringe starter. We'll see. Could be a backup of the future. AHL goaltender probably is definitely within his future. But we'll sim to our next pick here. We'll check out the rest of round 2. Just very briefly look at the picks after hours here. Did we pass on anybody that would have been really, really nice? Wanvig was medium elite, but he is 19 and only 60. If anything, he is trade bait to me. Seamek, who I didn't even identify him as a player to target. And then Poxpoo is the medium elite goaltender. I was hoping, and I remember saying that name. I definitely should have, if I was going to look at a goalie, I should have looked into it a bit more. But at 52 overall at 18, he's got a long, long journey ahead of him before he's ready for the NHL. He almost fell back to us here, and that's a bit disappointing. But we got Albert Ritu, who probably a seeing eye, is 5 years away. He's pretty far away. Jorgen Lindberg here is 5 years away. I don't trust that. We'll scroll a bit here. 2-bar, low top 9. Might have some X factors, might not, probably not. We don't know anything about any of these guys. Come on. I assigned my scouts all season. I don't know what they're up to, but they're certainly not giving us good reports. Timothy Mestre. No. Oh, God. It is slim pickings out here. 3-bar low elite Henry Oshie. 3-bar low elite. He's very mature. I'm happy for him. Nino Tomov just is not from any nation. He's from anywhere. Wow, this Gavin Selleck. I don't want to trust like 3-bar. He's got 3-bar X factors. Dump cycle energy block. That is a bottom sixer if I've ever heard it. Kim Olvestad. Ooh, that could be a good pick. He's got wheels. He's 19 already though. I don't like this at all. Not one bit. Do we know anything about anybody that I could maybe reach for? Because, we're not going to get him later. But Oshie here could be the guy to go after. 19, low elite, 5 years away. He could just be trade bait. 2-bar, medium, top 6, and Kim Olvestad is also 19. Gavin Selleck, he's got all those potential X factors. I think I'm going to take him. He's probably the most reasonable guy to take right now. There is the offensive defenseman here from Russia, but I think I am going to take Gavin Selleck, the center from America, a playmaker. Looks to be pretty good. Our scouts rate him pretty highly. And he is a medium bottom 6, low bottom 6, so not a great pick, but it's not a great class. Not going to lie. There have not been many players that have wowed me anywhere. DeAndre Severson might have truculence. Definitely not a good player. Definitely not medium elite. Pickarainen here. He might, again, it's those, he's got 3-bar X factors. He's 4 years away, potentially. I'm not sure if anybody else is going to sway me to that regard. Nattinen here. It's 5 years away. We know that. 3-bar X factors. I doubt it's true. There's Artem Bure. There's Dmitry Habibulin. Oh, God, it's well, we're at that part of the draft, right? It's the 6th round. We're not going to get anybody too fantastic right now. I think I liked Pickarainen, was it? Pickarainen, medium, top 9, 3-bar. He's probably a 2-way forward. If a quick pick, yoink, and elite edges are popping up. Igor Denisov is 2-bar low elite, but he's projected to go at 292. Let's check out our scout ranking of everybody. Buteau with being 3 years away. He's already 20 though. A real player who's already 20. He's probably never going to make it. I might just take Pickarainen here just because he seems to be the best player left on the board. So we will go ahead and make that selection there. Marco Pickarainen, medium bottom 6, 2-way forward. Definitely does not have those X factors. But it's worth a shot. That was pick 190 something. And now we're at pick 216. Let's listen to my scouts. What are they ranking here? They like Lindstrom. They like him. I don't know why, but we're about to find out. So we're gonna take Lindstrom, the grinder, medium bottom 6. Okay, it's whatever. It doesn't really matter at this point. And there we go. But Virgilio, Nikitin, and are really the stars of the show. Everybody else, it's not a great draft. When you don't have a ton of picks throughout, it's not great. But the 2 first-rounders are definitely gonna make their presence known, I hope. And then 7 players about to become restricted free agents. So we'll go take a look at who is expiring and who wants a contract. Cam Atkinson and Ivan Provorov are two guys that we need to consider either trading or keeping, or we'll see how it goes. But I may move on from Cam Atkinson. He did have a great season, and that might be just enough to dangle the carrot out there for a team to come in and snatch him up. Although, does Cam Atkinson, does he have a no trade clause? Tell me Cam Atkinson is able to be moved. Cam Atkinson does have a modified no trade clause, so he submits a 10-team no trade list. So we could actually get him to 20 teams, right? But Felix Sandstrom here does not want to be extended. Ersson does. We will qualify him and extend him for 3 years. He'd be a UFA at the end of it. Sandstrom does not want to come back, and I'm sure I can find an AHL caliber goalie somewhere else. I'm not going to sign Vinny. Goodbye, Sandstrom. Appreciate everything you've done. But Logan Thompson has just been the better backup. That one of the first trades I ever made. Take a look at the defense. It's Provorov, Ellis, Sanheim, Risto, York, and Korchinski, who's already up to a 78 in the contract screen. He's already grown a point. But Joel Edmondson, offer him a contract. I don't want to give him the $2 million because we only have about 5. So we're going to release him. We've got Olli Juolevi to be that 7th defenseman. And then Korchinski to be the 6th defenseman. So we got Risto and Korchinski, York and Sanheim, Ellis and Provorov with Juolevi as that guy out in case somebody gets hurt. Addard here, we definitely want to bring him back. I like him in the AHL there. 3 years, yeah, till he's 28. I like that. Connaughton, give him 1 more year, right? He's 34. We got Wiley, Andre, who I like a lot. Sealer, I think we can let Sealer walk. And then Hoberg, definitely want to bring back Millman, I think, or at least sign him for the first time. Give him a 3-year deal. Hoberg is 3 years older. I think we're going to release him. Oh, wait, hold on. Do we have anybody down here? Okay, no. Okay, so we've got Addard, Connaughton, Wiley, Andre, Zamula, and then, yeah, we'll bring Hoberg, and then that'll give us a 7th defenseman there. So there we go. So these two guys are going to be playing down in the AHL. Now, forward-wise, this is where it gets interesting, right? We can see Cam Atkinson and a lot of players we're going to have to make a lot of signings next year. And Konechny, not been impressive. Frost has, I like Tippett. Bobby Brink obviously got his extension. He's up to an 81. We love to see things like that. But our top 6 right now is Couturier, Atkinson, Farabee, Drouin, Hayes, Konechny. I think that's Couturier, Atkinson, Farabee, Drouin, Hayes, Konechny, Frost, Tippett, Brink, Paling, Boyd. It does not want to come back. That's unfortunate. I would have liked to bring Boyd back, but he probably wants to test the market, so we will let him go. And then Allison and Delorier. I hate the fact that Delorier's got such a long contract, but we will give Allison the 1.3. Zach McEwen does want to come back. He is not going to come back on that contract. We've got Lehman and Ratcliffe and guys that could come up. Noah Cates here. What do you want? He wants a 1-way deal. I think I'm going to qualify him and then shop him. See what we can get for him. But Brooks here is a 2-way forward. Marody does not want to come back as a 2-way forward. That's fine. We'll just replenish the AHL via free agency. Ronning here. I do like Ronning, the sniper. We'll give him a 2-year, 2-way deal. Perfect. Lajinski, what kind of player type are you? You're a 2-way forward. Patrick Brown is another 2-way forward. I can let these guys go. And the AHL's been kind of disappointing. They haven't really won when we've wanted them to win, you know. Haltonen now at a 72. Hopefully he jumps into something like he can dominate the AHL, but a bit disappointed to see him not growing very quickly. So really not a lot of moves to be made there. We'll maybe shop Atkinson and maybe not give him to a bottom 10 team, but we'll advance the day. Connaughton is going to reject. He's not happy and he wants to go separate ways. Addard is easy. Ronning easy. Hoberg easy. Millman easy. Ersson easy. Allison easy. It's easy. All right. So the only guy that doesn't want to come back is Connaughton. I can't say I'm that upset about it. We can easily find an AHL defenseman. But we can now sim to free agency because we're all good. We've got everybody. Cates is going to accept the qualifying offer from us. And we need to find some new scouts, which I didn't like any of these scouts anyway. They didn't do a very good job at the draft for us, so we will see what's in free agency, potentially offer some extensions. We can go after Sebastian Aho, maybe. No, we can't. But that'd be cool. It'd be neat to think about. but we can't go after him, which is unfortunate. We don't have a lot of cap space to make a move, so I wonder what kind of team would be interested in a guy like Cam Atkinson. He's got some average value, not gonna lie. Dumoulin, Murray, Soucy, the Avs, Sherratt, Savard, Dumoulin. Okay, so they really want to be giving us these defensemen. Let's see how. I mean, I don't want a defenseman, but the Ducks want him. The Ducks, I don't know where they finished last season. I think they did make the playoffs. They want to give up Cam Fowler, which would be an interesting trade, right? Dumoulin and Murray. Murray's not bad at 82, but again, they just really want to give up defensemen, and I don't want a defenseman. I think we might be stuck with Cam Atkinson for one more year. We won't re-sign him, and he'll probably retire as a member of the Philadelphia Flyers. But you can see he does want a contract extension. So does Provorov. I'm obviously going to give Provorov an extension. Provorov's one of our top defensemen and has earned it. He wants 3 years at 5.9. I think we're okay. I'll see if I can get him to take a little bit of an undercut at 5.75. Because we got 30 million in cap space next season. That is phenomenal. Jonathan Drouin, I think we'll wait and see how he goes one more year. Frost, I think I want to bring back Frost. I want to give him, I think, a 2-year deal at $3.5 million. Perfect for that middle six center. Ryan Poehling, I kind of want to bring him back. He does want a decent amount. If I can get him for 2 years at 1.5, I'd do it. And I think we should be good there. As far as goaltending, Thompson wants an extension. I would be interested. Yeah, I'd be interested in giving him a 3. Yeah, beautiful. That's totally fine there. So nobody really that is going to be on the move. I think Atkinson is better off being on the team than trading him for whatever we're going to get him for. And then we can just let him walk or trade him at the deadline depending on how the team simulates. But a first line of Couturier, Atkinson, Farabee. Farabee does fit the first line, so it'd be Farabee, Couturier, Atkinson. Atkinson getting that bump up to the first line, although he's better on the second line. So maybe Drouin. Drouin on the first line, I think, with Farabee and Couturier. And then Atkinson with Hayes. On the second line, Hayes is a perfect third line forward. So Konechny here. Konechny doesn't really fit anything but the third line. It's very upsetting. So balanced, energy balanced is Hayes. Konechny is balanced, shoot, energy balanced. Farabee is balanced, cycle, energy block. God, we got so screwed with our player preferences. Balanced, shoot, energy balanced. Carry, shoot, efficient, balanced. Ay, ay, ay. It's really gross. We do need that first line winger. Drouin fits, right? So we don't need that first line winger. I'm sorry. We need that second line player, right? And I think it's Frost centering Atkinson and somebody. Maybe it's Bobby Brink. It won't show us. Bobby Brink's preferences. Owen Tippett is a really great fit for that second line. So maybe we have Frost, Tippett, and Atkinson. Although we do kind of need a power forward for that second line because Frost is the playmaker. Atkinson's the sniper. We don't have a power forward. Maybe I want to find one. We got a power forward here in Allison, but he's not the guy I want to play there. Ratcliffe is another power forward, but we'll see. Maybe there's a low 80s power forward I can sign on a cheap 2-way deal just to be part of that middle six and see what happens. Because I like Hayes on the third line a lot better. But let's take a look at our forwards because that is the area where we do need to improve the most. We have just under 4 million. So Hornqvist for a season. He fits on the first forward line. He's pretty solid. He was offered to us last season. 42 points in 67 games. That's really solid. That's really, really good, actually. I'm trying to find another power forward here in that range. Vasily Kravtsov. He's an RFA, though. We just do affordable. There we go. There we go. That's what I like to see. An actually good filter. I appreciate that, EA. Kyle Oposo at 82. Fits the bottom six. I think I would like to try... Oh man, but they're gonna drop off hard, aren't they? Like Hornqvist is gonna drop off quite a bit throughout the season. As a 37-year-old, he probably is going to drop off due to his age. He's still so insane though. Like even if he does start to drop off, I really want to give him a 1-year deal. I'll give him 3.9 million for 1 year. He's that perfect middle sixer. Even if he does drop off, we move him down. he fits, right? We saw he fits the first forward line, so could be a good asset there, and the penalty killer. But we'll take a look at all players, sorting by potential. Is there anybody here that we might want to snatch up for the AHL? Luotsarainen, depending on what he wants, could be a guy to do that. A power forward here in Logan Brown, but these guys, he doesn't want a two-way deal. We want guys on two-way deals, and there we go. Luotsarainen, we'll give him 9.5. It's an AHLer right there. Another guy here in SDA as a UFA at 23, medium top 6. Snatch him up. Just plop him in the AHL. Offer him that contract at 23. I love that. Power forward Noel here. Part of the Seattle Kraken. I really like the way he looks, though, to be honest. I'll offer him the contract and see if we can get him for 3 years at 9.25 or 0.925. No picks required. There we go. Blitchfield is a two-way forward. RFA Lavoie. He wants a real deal. Let's just go UFA. Yeah, there we go. Actually, two-way contracts. Yeah, there we go. Two-way contracts, sorting by potential. Let's take a look at defensemen. Oh, okay. Woo has 3 teams interested in him, though. A defensive defenseman who's really good defensive defenseman, but Jet Woo, amazing defensively, just offensively offers you nothing. Very physical player, too. The other guy that was looking interesting is Matthias Norlinder as a two-way defenseman. He looks really solid. Could be our Connaughton replacement, too. Jet Woo, though, with that with that defensive defenseman, he's only 23, medium top 4. Offer him the contract. 2 years. We'll up the salary to 0.925. And there we go. And then we need an AHL goaltender. And we'll figure it out. Okay, so Jones and Dawes. So Hunter Jones and Nico Dawes. They're both hybrid. They both look fine. They're both 23. We'll give Jones, why not? 3 years, 850. Beautiful. And he's got medium starter potential, so that's pretty good. And that's probably going to be the extent of our free agency right now. So we'll see who signs with us and who does not sign with us. Let's take a look here. And Luotsarainen signs. Morgan Frost extended. Paling extended. Logan Thompson extended. Jet Woo accepted our contract. And Saron Noel's going back to the Kraken. That's fine. And Hunter Jones comes to us. SDA goes to Washington and the Hershey Bears. So maybe we want to look at one more two-way forward who is just sort by potential here. Holmstrom is a two-way forward. Like, I get it, but is also looks really good. Everybody left is two-way forwards, and you know, Simon Holmstrom is a really good-looking two-way forward. So a guy that we could even call up in a pinch. So offer him that contract. And I think that's it. I don't think I want to give anybody else a contract. Maybe Brett Murray, former Sabre. High top 9, but he is already 25, so probably not a guy to go after. Nobody young really made it through, so that's the last contract. So I will jump ahead to the oh, did Hornqvist sign? Hold on, Hornqvist is gonna sign. All right, so I almost forgot that we offered Hornqvist a contract. Provorov is gonna extend as well. We can probably jump forward a couple days. And you guys can see if Simon Holmstrom signs with us, and he does. Pretty pumped about that. So we'll see him in the next season. Take a look at the lines, take a look at the growth, and make some roster moves. So here we go, guys. Season 3 is just around the corner, and we need to make some lines and set that up. So Konechny, drew in. Yeah, that's kind of what we had anticipated. Tippett, yeah, we'll move him down. We'll move Joel Farabee up. Actually, he does fit the third line like insanely well. Simon Holmstrom's an 81? Simon Holmstrom's an 81? Holy crap. Oh my goodness. And do we get a +3 there? Drew in, think on the second line. Would that do anything? Does not look like it. So Patrick Hornqvist at an 84. Still looking pretty solid. He'll play there with Atkinson and Frost. Unless we maybe want to move Drew in down for Atkinson. Konechny can play left wing. Atkinson right wing. Hornqvist, Frost, Drew in, power forward, playmaker. Do we have a sniper? Oh, and Tippett. It doesn't quite get us anything there. That's unfortunate. I was hopeful that it would, but then, ooh. Okay, so the team's looking a lot deeper than I thought it was. Luotsarainen as well. Looks like a fantastic player. Fits the third line. Luotsa-Rainen. Definitely don't want Farabee there. We'll move Farabee up. Drouin. Probably would get... So we get a +1 just because of the X factors. But Atkinson up. Hornqvist there with Hayes and Tippett. That's going to be a tough line to play against. Are you kidding me? Tippett is no slouch to playing physical. 90 strength and all that. 85 aggressiveness. 87. And then, thank you. I have no music on EA, but I appreciate that that song is playing. But it's a physical third line. And then Holmstrom, Luotsa-Rainen, and then scratched is Bobby Brink at 8. Oh, come on. 83. Bobby Brink's got to make it in the squad. Bobby Brink. Come on. And he fits. Where does he fit the most? The first line? Yeah, I want to put Bobby Brink on the first line. Playing with Konechny and Couturier. Getting the +3 anyway. Really good, really good player. Bobby Brink is going to be something for us very, very soon. But as far as fit, we don't really have a... Oh, Farabee is the guy that's probably absolutely dragging that line down. He fits the third line or the first line, not really anywhere else. Konechny move up there. So, wow, Konechny doesn't even get us to a plus here. Jonathan Drouin fits better. Oh, we get a +1 on both lines. If we move Bobby Brink, so if it's Farabee, Konechny, Drouin, Farabee will play right wing. Konechny, Frost, Brink, Tippett, Hayes, Hornqvist. I don't mind that. Hayes would lose us the +1. And we get a -1 if we move them down there. I'm just trying to mess around now for chemistry purposes. Atkinson. Ooh, Atkinson. Bobby Brink on the third line with Hayes and Hornqvist. Konechny, Frost, Atkinson. I really don't know where I should be putting everybody. I really, really don't. There's a lot of players that are middle sixers that we aren't sure quite where to put them. Scratched-wise, Paling is scratched. I'd like to get him in there, probably over a guy like Luotsa-Rainen. Paling, go ahead, hop in there. Taking a look at the defense. We definitely want to look at calling somebody up. Ryan Ellis is starting to drop off, which is not a good sign. Ristolainen there. Yeah, York. York, why don't you go play on the first line with Provorov? Then we have Ellis and Sanheim on the second pairing. So, I mean, York fits it, right? Perfect fit. Provorov's a good fit, but I don't know why they aren't getting a plus. Don't ask me. Olli Juolevi is a perfect fit for the bottom pairing. But he could be replaced too. And then in goal, we still have 90 overall Carter Hart and 79 Logan Thompson. Ooh, this is pretty interesting. Not edit the strategies. I wanted options. Go to roster moves. In the system. Hugru. Korchinski is an 80. Oh, things we love to see. Bill Lehman's a 78. Maybe somebody we want to call up. He's listed as a depth forward. Balance, energy block. Could be a moderate fit for us. Haltonen. Haltonen's now a 74. Things we love to see is Haltonen being a 74. But we definitely are calling up Korchinski. And then in the NHL defenseman, we are going to be sending down... oh, nobody. We need to send down a forward of some sorts. And we'll send down Nicholas Delorier and probably Allison. No, that's fine. We'll call up... there we go. And we've got the flip-flop. Go to edit lines. Best AHL lines. It's just the AHL. Take a look at defense. Quick swap out Juolevi. In comes Korchinski. And we will back out of the lines real quick just so we can see any kind of chemistry changes that might be glitched. But we got a +1 on both lines now. Bobby Brink, Hayes, and Hornqvist. Brink, I want to give him the time up here. I worry about playing him too high too quickly, but he is so good as a sniper to play with Drouin and Couturier, Konechny, Farabee. Yeah, Drouin is listed as a third liner, so we would not get upset, but he is way too good to be a third liner in my opinion. Farabee is just at high top 6, is just not doing it for me as far as what he could be. He's listed as a second line forward. Jonathan Drouin, flip-flop him with Farabee. So we'll put Farabee in there. We'll put Konechny up there. We'll put Jonathan Drouin with Hornqvist and Hayes. Hayes fits the third line. Jonathan Drouin does as well. Hornqvist really fits the second line best, but Tippett here is a great fit on that second line. We just can't quite get a plus there, probably because Farabee is absolutely detrimental. And I'm kind of sick of Farabee at this point. He's never really wowed me, but we'll see. Maybe this is his season to break out. Now that we have plenty of good players surrounding him. Simon Holmstrom here, a great fourth liner, Paling, and then Tippett's not a great fourth liner. Tippett had a great season last season. 37 points, though. He really cooled off. Maybe it's not as good as I can remember. Maybe it's that early season biases. But Korchinski here, he fits the first line very, very well. Maybe we want to play Korchinski with Sanheim. Provorov, York, Risto up. Risto, you do not fit there. But maybe I don't want to play Korchinski too high too quickly. Ryan Ellis still is worth playing in the middle six. He's got 3 years left, but he may retire first. We may also want to look to find a new coach, but I just don't know who we're going to build this team around. It is really tough to say what we're going to do. Sanheim is 28, Provorov's 27, so Provorov gets the nod, but Korchinski is going to play down there at medium elite. Offensive defenseman looks to be insane. Oh my God, his offensive abilities are great. His defense is certainly not lacking. The only thing lacking is physicality, but that's why we have Rasmus Ristolainen next to him, to be physical, and that's really it. But offensively, guys, I like the fact that we get a +3. I just wonder if we could do better finding a coach that likes balanced shoot, energy balanced, carry cycle efficient balance. Bobby Brink's perfect for that first line. Carry cycle efficient balance, you know, getting a +1 there. We'd get a +3. I mean, it doesn't matter though, you know, just because we can't get that a plus other than, I mean, it doesn't make sense. The chemistry, we're absolutely screwed because we got too many two-way forwards on the team that just don't like carry, shoot, balance. You know, they don't like the good stuff. You know, too many balance, energy, balance, you know, things like that. It's just not worth it. I don't know if we're going to be able to find a coach that fits something better. Hornqvist does not fit down there, but I'm rambling here because I really don't know where to go with the roster. Is there a coach out there that we want to sign? You know, taking a look at head coaches. There's Parks. What is he? He is an offensive coach who likes overload, carry, shoot, balanced. Overload, balance, cycle, balance. That could be good. Balance, energy, balance. Maddox Flood here with he got a 67% fit. Fits Provorov perfectly. Couturier fits well. Farabee, no, but Konechny, Hayes, Ellis. Brink doesn't really fit his scheme. Korchinski doesn't either. Taking a look at him, he prefers pinch balance, hold the line in balance. I don't like those defensive strategies. And I can't see what like Roberto Janes likes. What is Korchinski's chemistry style? But maybe I'm making too much out of the chemistry and I just need to focus on getting good players. Pinch cycle. That's what I want. I want pinch cycle, but we can't get that to work with a coach who also fits our forwards. Part of that is our main man, Couturier, he's terrible chemistry-wise. He's a third liner chemistry-wise. Look, we get a +1 right there, just like that. We get a +5 if we put Drouin, Couturier, and Konechny on the third line because it's balance, shoot, energy, balanced. That's crazy. And we could maybe roll our third line, but it just doesn't make any sense. You know, if we start with the third line, maybe we get the +5 there, but I doubt it's going to be worthwhile. We're so close there to being perfect on that top line. I can't get it to work. Jonathan Drouin. Yeah, it's just, it's so tough. The only reason we're getting it is the, you know, the two-way sniper. You know, we got a playmaker up here and then a power forward up here, although they don't quite fit. Bobby Brink, where do you fit? Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I am rambling right now, just trying to figure out what the heck I need to do with this team to get any kind of chemistry bonuses, and it's going to be really, really hard. But you guys let me know your thoughts. You guys are kind of smarter than I am when it comes to this stuff, and I appreciate your comments and feedback. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.
It's a free for all, free for all.